of puppets has a positive influence in raising the students' interest. Therefore, it increases the students' attention, and the students will be more engaged in the classroom activities. According to Majoron, puppets provides the child a kind of cover where they can hide behind the puppets. Yeah.
They can hide their weaknesses.
Therefore, it helps the child to communicate much more spontaneously, especially with adults. And that's what we need as teachers. We want them to talk to us. Okay, next, according to Denise, puppets helps to build the students' confidence. When the students use the puppets, they speak through the puppets, they become more confident. Because puppets are like a mask for them. And puppets can be made at low cost, like using recycled materials, toilet paper rolls, and all other unused stuff. And it can also be created by the students in the classroom as craft. Okay, Karen Fraser says that one of the most effective ways to bring language into the classroom is to use puppets, because it helps the shy students to come out of their shell and they become less self-conscious about talking. They will lose their inhibition when they are using the puppets, and they are more willing to practice the language. Okay, here are some ideas of using puppets, which are conversation, storytelling, puppet show, and singing song. And so far, I've only tried out the first two, which are the conversation and storytelling. Of course, in the future, I will still do it in the classroom. I will try out the puppet show and the singing song and other ideas. Okay, these are the first stick puppets I've made in the classroom when I was teaching them festivals.
Chinese New Year.
Yeah. So I prepared this. It's just very simple for me. I just printed out the pictures and I pass it on the straw. This is not difficult for me. So for this, I used it to teach them conversation. I put out simple dialogue on the whiteboard. What festival do you celebrate? And the other one has to answer, I celebrate Chinese New Year or Hari Raya or Deepavali. So last year when I only had 2 students, each of them, they got 3 puppets with them. So when one of the students is holding, for example, she's holding the one with baju kurung, she has to answer, I celebrate Hari Raya. At first, they can look at the whiteboard and practice it, but later I erase it and they have to ask on their own. And surprisingly, the effect is really good. I see them enjoy doing it over and over again, and they're not shy anymore. That's why I decided to continue using puppets and make some simple puppets. These are the finger puppets I made. Also, I use it to teach them some simple conversation. When they're putting it on their finger, they'll ask, who is he or who is she? And the other one has to answer, she's my mother, she's my sister, or he's my brother. This also helps them to differentiate the pronoun he and she, because sometimes they still get confused. And this is another type of puppets that I've tried, which is using toilet paper rolls. And for the wolf, I actually found the template from the internet, so I just do the cut and paste thing. And for the pigs, They are even simpler. I just printed the face and just paste it. I use it for storytelling. I think you know which story that is. 3 Little Pigs. So at first, I tell the story using all the puppets. They can't touch it. Then after that, each of them can have one of the pigs. They play the role of the pig, and I gave them dialogue, the script. So we read together, and I become the wolf, because there are only 3 students, and I'm the 4th person in the class, so I'm the wolf. So although they face some difficulties in reading the words, but they really enjoy that lesson playing with the puppets. Also, they do it, I think, about 3 or 4 times reading the dialogue and exchange the pig to have different pig. Another stick puppets I made for storytelling, the red feathers in year 3 textbook. This one I only use to tell the story using the puppets. And this one, I use them for teaching conversation as well. Each of the students get 1 puppet, and the one on the left is a teacher, and the other 3 they are students. I gave them some simple situation, like you have a new classmate, you have to introduce yourself to the classmate, or you forgot to bring your pencil case, borrow a pencil from your friend. So from that lesson, I also see they try to use the language, they try to use all the limited vocabulary they know. For example, they don't know how to say, if we will say, may I borrow your pencil please? They will say, borrow you pencil, yes? So ask your permission to borrow the pencil. But at least they have a try, and they say hi. And I asked them before, like, how old are you? And they know how to apply it in this situation. Introduce to your new classmate. They'll ask, how old are you? Here's some videos, bits of videos I cut. Please pay attention to the students' facial expression. And their gestures. So what do you see from the video? When I give them, when I take out the puppets?
Very happy, excited.
Excited, and they're looking forward to get it from me, although it's just simple puppets. They're getting, so this will arouse their interest. The next one. I actually asked him to name his puppet, and he said this is Miss Anna. Although it's wrong, but he dared to say something, so I think it's good also. This one, he is introducing himself to the puppet, his new friend. And so he said, hi, my name is Douglas, what is your name? And then he turned the puppet around and said, hi, I'm Madsen. Do you notice any mistake in in the students' conversation. Can't really hear it.
Yeah, the sound is
okay.
very...
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, she's saying hi, and the other one is saying hi, and she asked, "What is your name?" And she said, "My name is Ki Wen-xian." That's her name. She added the article He said no way when the boy asked for the permission to borrow a pencil. They learned this when I was teaching the 3 little pigs, when the wolf wanted to go into the house, and the pig said, "No way." I told the story like that, so they pick up the "no way." So she said "no way" to the boy. Okay, here are some effects of puppets in my own classroom. So like I've mentioned earlier, when I just started teaching them, they are really shy and they didn't want to use English at all. Even sometimes when Shahira ask them, "How are you today?" or "Good morning," they'll answer in a very, very shy manner.
They will hide behind you if they can.
Yeah, at the beginning. But now they dare to speak out, because when we are practicing in the classroom, they have the puppets as their mask. So they dare to use the language. And last time, when they saw me outside of the classroom, they wouldn't greet me, even though they know how to say "Good morning, teacher," "Good morning, Miss Anna." But now, recently, I noticed that they started greeting me loudly. "Good morning, Miss Anna," when they see me outside of the classroom. Like when they go to toilets, they also shouted very loudly, "Good morning, Miss Anna." They also become less self-conscious to speak English, because they are speaking through the puppets. They are not afraid of making mistakes anymore, and this slowly builds up their confidence to use the language. Also, they try to use the language even though they might not use it correctly, like what you saw in the video just now. This is Miss Anna. And of course, they're having fun. And then they really enjoy the lesson. So I'll continue to use the puppets in my classroom. And actually, for the 3 little pigs, I'm going to get them to practice it, and I'm going to ask them to have a puppet show to the other class when they are ready. For the singing song part, when I know about using puppets, only I realized that actually when I taught this song last year,
these are the sounds that the animals make. 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 The cat goes meow, meow, meow. The cow goes moo, 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 moo. The pig goes oink, oink, oink. And the rooster goes cock-a-doodle-doo. These are the sounds that...
so last year when I taught this song, I just show pictures to teach the animals and
The sounds.
yeah. And now I realize that actually I can make all the stick puppets or even finger puppets of the animals, and when they are singing along, they can actually when it is for example, if it's a dog, they can choose from the puppets, take the dog out instead of doing nothing there. There will be more fun if I used puppets last year. But it's still not too late. I still have a long way to go. I can still have more chance to practice using puppets in my classroom.
You can find the songs.
Okay, that's all I want to share today. Is there any questions you want to ask?
You said that you pointed out some of the mistakes children make, and I like that you said like it doesn't matter, at least they're speaking. What do you do about error correction or getting them to make more accurate sentences? Have you thought about that?
When it comes to writing, because now, as I've mentioned, because they are just shy to use English, to speak English, so my focus is I just want to get them to speak first instead of correcting them. Else, I don't think they want to speak again if I correct them. Of course, I do.
So you just take on board and then you deal with it later?
Yeah, do it later. So now let's move on to puppets making using toilet paper rolls. And I prepared a script and a story for you. You can bring it back to try it out in your classroom. It's a story of the tortoise and the hare, and I guess all of you know it. No way, really, no way. I will use my
That time work smart at those.
Yeah.
Some people work smart, they don't work hard.